Hey guys, this is Tom. Welcome back to another episode of Who Are the Lost Commanders? Today we're going to be looking at GH&I. We had about 20 from A through C, and D, E, F we had about another 10. I thought for sure at some point I'd hit just a dry patch and I'd just breeze on through, and this here is Princess, what's her name? Princess Malia from Relic Knights. These, by the way, are the best Magic sleeves I've ever had, and deck box. Fantastic. I don't know why. I just like them for some reason. But anyway, we are going to kick off today with, I guess, a apology. I had to post a correction on my last video because I grabbed a bunch of bookmarks and completely forgot why I put some of them there. So I listed Fungus as one of the lost commanders. I actually finally remembered why I had Fungus bookmarked. Is because it was the perfect commander. This guy here gave Guru of Spores. This is one of the commanders they released in the last couple of years, who I'm convinced that there's somebody at Wizards of the Coast who is dotting the I's, crossing his I's, crossing the T's. Like, somebody's watching carefully to see like which creature types don't have commanders, because this guy is like perfectly formulated. He's from a commander deck, gave Guru of Spores. He's white, black, and green, which pretty much covers, probably like 99% of the fungus that exist in the game. So that's why I bookmarked this last time. But anyway, moving on. We are not in the S anymore. We do not give an F. Alright, we are now going into it. What is next? Okay, our first group, or our first creature type from GH&I is Gargoyle. Not much to say here, just mostly white and artifact guys. It would be easy enough to do a Gargoyle. Although, I always wondered, like, I think I heard somewhere that a Gargoyle has to, like, traditionally be, like, spitting out rainwater or something like that, and, like, the little things that Batman's always perching on are actually technically grotesques. I don't know. Anybody have any insight on that? But anyway, moving on. So Gargoyle could get a guy someday, who knows? It doesn't seem that far-fetched. This one does, though. Germ is our next one, and Germ only exists in token form. Now, I thought about this, like, I've poo-pooed a lot of these creature types, like, Flag Bearer and Coward. Like, they're probably not going to get any kind of love, but Germ, creatively they could do it. I'll show you how. This from the comic book world, this is a creature called Despatelli. He's one of the Sinestro Corps, and he's a sentient germ that, like, murdered the whole population of his planet, and the fear he invoked gifted him with a yellow lantern. Has nothing to do with magic. I just want to point out that even though it's just a lowly germ, you still could have, like, a unique legendary version of that type of being. But there are some there's some creature types, and in fact we're going to encounter one in this list that are, like, almost beyond the pale. Like, there's almost no way to do it as a legendary. Next up we have the Gnome. So only one gnome has ever been, like, humanoid. The Quorum Trench Gnomes from Legends were red, and every other gnome's been artifact. I'm not sure why that is. I would guess it's because any time you need a little red annoying creature, you already have dwarves and you already have goblins, and goblins tend to supplant other creature types wherever they flourish. Like, there's a reason you don't see very many orcs anymore. You also don't see many gremlins, which is coming up. But anyway, gnomes probably pretty far down the priority list, and I don't know what bookmarks I'm using. Here we go. All right, bloop. Where are we at? So after gnomes are Goats. I thought the guy that exchanged things was a goat. Maybe he's an ox. There is some legendary ox or some kind of Zergo or something like that. Yeah, goats. Goats are one of those weird creature types that seems to exist largely in token form. Like there's always a trading post or something, springjack pasture. There's a lot of ways to create goats, but it's mostly in tokens. But goats have got they got a lot of personality. I'm sure they'll get a legend eventually. We'll get our goat. Next is, who is this guy? Oh, okay. So this was a creature type that only existed on 2 different cards. The Graveborn, which are really stupid 3/1 black and red creatures that are basically like zombies, but they're also the stats of elementals. I really don't see much hope for these guys. But this guy makes them, and there's a Balduvian horde or Balduvian zombies. Some other card makes them. Like two cards make Graveborn. So if they show up again, it's probably going to be nostalgic, and they're probably not going to be legendary. Next, okay, I mentioned these guys before. Gremlin. Now we all know creatively how to do a Gremlin. You just need some leader that's like Spec from Gremlins. But so far most of them have been red. They kind of lean into that, which again hurts their chances at ever showing up again, because typically if it's a red pest, small weenie creature, it's going to be a goblin. And I miss the Phyrexian gremlins. They were wonderful. They're actually, of all the gremlins that have existed so far, these are the most like the ones in the 80s movie. Alright. Next. Hag. Wow. Yeah, I don't know why this is even really a creature type. You could easily retcon any of these to be witches. So, I don't know what they're doing, but they don't use this very often. They put a few hags on Shadow, or what was this, Eventide maybe? But yeah, not much, not many hags outside of the world of Lorwyn. Not much use for that creature type. I guess if they ever do like a Russian folklore type thing, maybe Baba Yaga's a hag, but probably she's just a witch too. Alright, next up, hippos. I thought Hippogriff was a hippo, but apparently not. But this is actually a creature type that has a legend that is kind of a proves my point that I think somebody at Wizards is watching this stuff closely, because look how perfect this is. They had a companion. They had like otters and a bunch of weird shit for the companions, but they had a dinosaur hippo companion, Karuga. They made him hybrid mana, blue and green, which means that 1, 2, 3, 4 out of the 5 existing hippos could fit within his umbrella as a commander. That's intentional. That sort of thing is what makes me think, or what made me think at the start of this series, that there would be very few left, because maybe it's somebody new. Maybe it's a new employee at Wizards who's actually watching this stuff closely and like trying to push for like, hey guys, it's time we do a flag bearer guy, or whatever. I don't know. There's something going on there. But that's just an example of like the hippos are one of the well-off types that actually got their guy. Hippogriffs are kind of weird. They're griffins, but they have like horse bodies instead of cat bodies. I don't know. They're really stupid, and there's only 4 of them. Not much hope for these guys. Although, whenever they do Battle Bond, they have a lot of like weirdo partners, and I could see somebody like partnering up with a hippogriff that they ride, so there'd be a reason to have a legendary hippogriff. Alright, next up is Homerid. They're all blue, so it'd be easy enough to do, but they're just basically, red lobster entrees that attack you. They don't really do that much. So, bunch of hot buttered face huggers. Who needs a commander for those? Let's see, what else we got here? A horse, of course. Horse is kind of a weird one too, because they're kind of all over the map. They even took the time to make a mythic rare horse. So they have like a horse captain, but they just don't have a horse commander yet. I don't know what they're doing there. And some of these are ponies. Like, how hard would it be to have, like, you know, Bill the Pony from The Hobbit or whatever, you know, Lord of the Rings? Like, how hard would it be to have some horse with, you know, a lot of personality who it would be legendary? I think that would be pretty easy, and maybe maybe during the Vikings set that's coming up, or the Nordic themed set, we'll get our legendary horse finally. All right, who is next? Hyena. I mean, Harley Quinn. Oh, this was another one. Okay, this is one that has one, and it looks very intentional because of the 4 existing hyenas before this legendary. He covers all but one, the hyena pack that's red and off color with a hybrid white-green. This is intentional. This is somebody looking out for the players and going, there's got to be some weirdo fan of hyenas, maybe a Harley Quinn cosplayer who only cosplays as the hyenas instead of Harley. I don't know. It's weird, but you know, this sort of thing gives me hope that eventually everyone can play whatever weird niche creature deck they want to do. Okay, next up, second to last one here today is Imp. Imps are kind of small, annoying nuisance guys, like somewhere between goblins and devils. You know, some of them have a lot of personality to them, like the Nettling Imp that frustrated all the old school players because it had wings but it couldn't fly. That's something Wizards doesn't do anymore. They don't publish creatures that have wings and can't fly. But yeah, Imp's kind of weird, but you know, eventually I think they could get their commander. There's certainly enough of them to show some interest. And speaking of imps, my cat's meowing outside. Alright, final one today is Incarnation. This is actually interesting because Incarnation's a weird creature type for a couple of reasons, one of which is that they have probably the most single word cards in the whole type, because it's always like single word things like anger, brawn, dread, guile. It's just kind of peculiar that they have that distinction. But you know, an incarnation is you know, it's a manifestation of an ideal. So how can you have an ideal that's legendary? Like, that just doesn't really make sense. So I don't really see much hope for that unless they have some, you know, Jace's incarnation and it's like, you know, the legendary just to nerf it a little bit or something like that. They may do something like that. But yeah, that's about it for today. I want to see what my cat wants. He's driving me crazy. Let's go say hi to Mr. BB. It's time for a cameo. BB, are you ready for a crossover? Oh my God! All right, summon cat token. Where'd he go? God, is he gone already? All right, BB, get in there, you monster! Oh man, bonus content for the old school viewers. Remember when this was a cat channel? Look at all that hair. Mr. BB, you're a mess. Alright guys, well, BB, What? What? Oh my God, you're gonna get my camera wet. Any final words for the viewers? Since you're battering down my door? Alright guys, well I'm gonna try to keep on the daily schedule here. We're going to keep plowing through the A through Z of the Lost Commanders. If you have any comments, or if I miss one, or if I just outright lied about one of the commanders, let me know. And yeah, let me know if there's any other topic. What? Keep drinking, crazy nut. Just let me know if there's anything you think I should be covering. I want to talk about the upcoming Nordic set, which I believe is definitely on its way. There's also the first Zendikar Rising spoilers today. We had the preview of Nahiri and Jace. So yes. So I think we got a lot of exciting stuff coming up before the end of the year. So that is it for me today, and I hope y'all have a lovely rest of your day. And click these links wherever they are. Say goodbye, BB. All right. Do swidania, y'all.